Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could the clerk call up and read in its entirety H.R. 49?
Clerk, please report.
House Resolution 49, Representative Bratcher, a resolution recognizing January 27, 2022 as International Holocaust Remembrance Day. Whereas the Holocaust was the state-sponsored systematic persecution and annihilation of European Jewry by Nazi Germany and its collaborators between 1933 and 1945. 6 million Jews were murdered. Roma, people with disabilities, and Poles were also targeted for destruction or dissemination for racial, ethnic, or national reasons. And millions more, including homosexuals, Jehovah's Witnesses, Soviet prisoners of war, and political dissidents, all suffered grievous oppression and death under Nazi tyranny. And whereas the history of the Holocaust offers an opportunity to reflect on the moral responsibilities of individuals, societies, and governments, and whereas we, the people of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, should always remember the terrible events of the Holocaust and remain vigilant against hatred, persecution, and tyranny. And whereas we, the people of Commonwealth of Kentucky, should actively rededicate ourselves to the principles of individual freedom in a just society. And whereas International Holocaust Remembrance Day has been set for the people of the Commonwealth of Kentucky to remember the victims of the Holocaust, as well as to reflect on the need for respect of all peoples. And whereas on November 1st, 2005, the UN General Assembly adopted Resolution 60-7 to designate January 27th as International Holocaust Remembrance Day. IHRD, to correspond with the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz and Birkenau, and it's meant to honor the victims of Nazism and to condemn all forms of religious intolerance, enticement, harassment, or violence against persons or communities based on ethnic origin or religious belief. Therefore, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the General Assembly of the Commonwealth, members of this House hereby recognize January 27, 2022 as International Holocaust Remembrance Day, in memory of the victims of the Holocaust and in honor of the survivors, as well as the rescuers and liberators, and further proclaim that we, as citizens of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, should work to promote human dignity and confront hate whenever and wherever it occurs.
Gentleman from Jefferson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, I hope in this chamber that we all join the rest of our great Commonwealth in recognizing this day, January 27th, as International Holocaust Remembrance Day. You know, there were many mothers, daughters, fathers, and sons in many communities that lost their lives during this terrible reign of inhumanity and depravity in Europe. I'd like to take a moment and just reflect on that. It was 80 years ago, more or less. It was a whole decade, actually, but we must never forget this and never let it happen again.